Hi, Carolyn Showalter here. This video, I will talk about my tutor binder. In my previous video, I talked about using disc binding for my essentials grammar curriculum, and now I'll talk about using this flex binder for my tutoring binder. Okay, so this binder is a special binder because you can turn it back on itself. Okay, so that's one thing. This is one binder that I actually kind of like. It's only available in 1 inch though, so it is kind of limiting. But anyway, this is my tutor binder. So I've got my sections set up here. I can show you. My first section is just a folder for handouts because I like handouts. So that's one thing that I'm going to be bringing to class. My next section is going to be the curriculum calendar thing. Then we've got our grammar section, our math section, and our grammar section, writing section, and math section. Okay, so let's go through this a little bit more detail. My grammar section is going to be the essentials curriculum. It's kind of confusing because essentials has 3 parts, but CC only makes one Essentials of the English Language guide. So Essentials of the English Language is your grammar curriculum. So that's what this section is about. So this is where the actual weekly lesson will go. So I'll be taking the weekly lesson out of my disc bound guide and putting it back into this 3-ring binder. So even though I'm disc binding, it still keeps the original 3-ring binding holes, and it's still functional in both methods, which is another reason why I used disc binding, which is very convenient. So I can keep the lesson in the book and it's just a few pages. So I don't have to bring the whole guide to class, which is this thick. I can just bring the few pages necessary for the lesson. Okay, and if ever a question comes up that refers to a previous lesson, I can just say, let me look that up and I'll get back to you. Because I don't need to have all the answers. Otherwise, I'd just be a boring know-it-all who'd be talking for 2 hours when I'm supposed to be leading a discussion, you know? Okay, so that's that section. I also have all the charts in the back here in page protectors. So that's the back of that section. Then we have my writing section. The writing section is going to have my notes and the actual lesson from the history-based teacher's guide. So let me show you what I did to be able to fit it in here. Okay, this is, it's me, okay? I'm a little complicated. Okay, so what I did was, teaching writing with structure and style comes as a binder. So what I did was, I took the TWSS seminar notebook out of the binder and I spiral bound it. So this is my reference book for TWSS. I took the dividers it comes with, I took them out and I just labeled everything with these little tabs, which is a lot easier. So this is the unit number. So every week in IEW there's a unit number and a lesson number. This is the unit, then the lessons are in the other book. Okay, so this is my spiral bound TWSS, and when we do our viewing parties for the DVDs, I'll be bringing this, and I could write notes in this, and that's fine. And I don't need to take anything else, just this one book. But for the writing lessons, I cut it out of the spiral bound and put it into the binder. And I used the dividers from the TWSS, so I divided the book back into its units. So I can easily find out what lesson and what unit we're on, and everything's divided. Very easy. So the lessons of the week are coming out of the binder and going into my tutor binder. Okay, see how I can fold it in on itself and I can just hold it and be at the whiteboard and be writing out my stuff, and everything's right here. Okay, then in my math section, I figured I would have copies of the any math game that we're having. So it's not just all oral instruction, because sometimes, as you might have noticed, my words kind of get tangled up on themselves when I talk out loud, which isn't really good for public speaking because I've got pregnancy brain that lingers. Anyway, I've got copies of all the games in here. So, Battleship, Snake, bingo board, and this one is going to be just an oral review, and this one is for drawing arrays, which we can learn later. Okay, and then of course number knockout, and then the last thing is just a folder that I can use for papers. If I'm collecting papers from the students and giving them back, I can put them in there. Okay, so that is going to be my tutor binder. So yes, I know that sounds like a lot of flipping back and forth, where I'm taking the lesson from the Essentials Guide and putting it in here, and I'm taking the lesson from the history writing lessons and putting it in here, and then I'm flipping it every week. That does sound like a lot of flipping. But for me, it's more manageable. I'd rather just have that extra couple minutes as part of my prep in order to have it all in one place. Then I can take my notes and put them in here for both subjects, and I don't have to worry about having notes somewhere else and losing them, or having the lesson somewhere else and forgetting it at home, and I don't have to carry 3 books. I don't have to carry all of this to class. This is too much. Okay, plus this. This is so much, you guys. This is the TWSS, the Essentials Guide. This is just half of the Essentials Guide, and then the the tutor binder, and then the history-based writing lessons. No, I am not taking all of this to class. I am only taking this. I can put it in a tote bag. Oh, I have to show you something. I made my husband buy me this. This is a Ray Dunn bag. She has 2 different ones that say Essentials on it, and this is the bigger one. But this is, I can, like, literally, this is all I need for teaching Essentials. Just this and this. This is literally all I need, because I've got all my lesson plan in there, and my notes and my lesson plan is in there for all 3 parts. And then this can carry everything else. It's got my some flashcards I could do in class, and my dry erase markers, my erasers, and whatever else I might need. My dice, which is in another bag right now, but I can put it in here. So that's all I need for teaching Essentials. And I think that if your lesson plan is well made with lots of questions for discussion, you really can keep it really simple, and you don't have to have a lot of extra stuff, you know. So I'm excited with how I organize everything. I hope this video was helpful for how you organize your Essentials materials.